All right, so the first thing that I would like to talk about is our theme, which is ready to scale. We believe in this market, we've reached a point where industrial, augmented, and assisted reality and wearable devices are ready to scale. We'll describe through the day what we think scale means and why we think we're ready. An enormous part of helping that mission is going to be the people we have from our partners in this room and, of course, the greater number of them around the world. So I would just like to thank all of the people on the slide here, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise with their My Room visual remote guidance, LibraStream with their on-site family of products, Ubimax with their frontline solution, AMA's family of solutions, our great friends from Poland, Transition Technologies, our friends from Italy, two from Italy, Brocasia and Over IT from respectively Rome and Milan, ISDM, Picomto, a great ISDM, a Dutch company, Picomto, a great solution system, work instruction software provider, XM Reality, who you'll see their software also doing instructions and remote collaboration, Knowledge Concepts is sort of a system integrator, and of course we have a number of people from RealWear here too to support you and help you connect to these people. So do ask us for introductions, anyone wearing a RealWear shirt, we'll be happy to connect you. Thank you to all of our partners very much for coming here and supporting this event. Okay, so let me begin by my own session by giving you just some updates on RealWear, the company. We started in 2016. We're almost 4 years into our journey. A lot has happened. We now have 5 offices around the world in Vancouver, Washington, here in Amsterdam, in Bangalore, India, and in both Shanghai and Beijing in China. Up to selling in 54 countries. We're up to 124 full-time employees, plus about another 20, 25 contractors, so you could say almost 150. So quite a lot of growth in a short amount of time, and we're very excited that things are going so well. These are some of the places, I think most of the places, where we have deployments with customers all over the world. In fact, at the current count, and Q4 is still going on and we're not done yet, so I think this number is going to increase in the next 2 weeks. But we're a little over 18,000 units sold to customers, about 1,300 customers in total. Some of them, of course, are much larger than others, so that average is not a very representative number. But about 1,300 global enterprise customers, 200 application providers that have built software for the HMT-1 and HMT-1Z1 with user experience designed for hands-free interaction. And the device is now up to 12 languages that it supports, including with the voice recognition, the most recent being Thai and Polish, based on specific customers. So ready to scale, that's one measure of being ready to scale. And this is growing at an enormous rate. Let me now start with a video that will introduce some of our themes, and I'll play this video.
We're in for a winter blast this weekend as temperatures fall another 20 degrees. A high-pressure system is coming in from the north.
we do have a number of wind turbine customers in our portfolio, which we're very excited about, and I think it's an interesting showcase of a few themes. So the themes I'd like to introduce for my first section here, you may have seen them on the banners outside, are safety, stability, and security. Each of these items are necessary to scale, to be ready for scale. When we are talking about going to large-scale rollouts and deployments of assisted and augmented reality and wearable technology at an enterprise level, then there are a number of things that we have to get right. Safety, stability, and security. I'm going to talk about each of those things. Let's start with safety. Most industries have some trade-off that they make between productivity and safety. So to take an example here, if you're in nuclear power, you probably emphasize safety, most importantly. And maybe if you're in retail, safety is important, but perhaps productivity is where you emphasize more. And so there's some curve here, which for each industry says what trade-off do you make? And we put, for example, oil and gas somewhere in the middle. Strong safety culture, very focused on productivity. There's various technology that can help you navigate this curve. And of course, augmented reality fits into this. In fact, I'm sure you've heard of mixed reality. Mixed reality is probably the most famous example would be the Microsoft HoloLens 2. Fantastic technology, very excited about it, all of us in the industry, that it's finally shipping. And wonderful for many use cases involving native 3D data and design. Now, mixed reality, of course, gives you enhanced productivity, no question. But it comes at the expense of some safety, and I'll explain why later on in a different section of this talk. It essentially stays on that curve, and there's some trade-off because of the loss of peripheral vision and a number of issues that you have around protective equipment. I'll go into more details. There is a way to get productivity and safety, and that's what we call assisted reality. And of course, that's what we target here at RealWear. And in our view, this goes to a different curve. Productivity with enhanced safety, not productivity at the expense of safety. Safety is extremely important for all of the customers that we work with, mostly industrial customers, mostly in strong safety cultures, whether it's in manufacturing, construction, oil and gas, distribution, transportation. In a lot of cases, these are customers who emphasize safety of their employees very highly and have a strong safety culture embedded in their organizations. So we'll come back to this theme in a little bit. Let me move on to stability. So when you are working with large-scale industrial enterprise rollouts at scale, it's very important that you're working with a stable system, a stable company, a stable product. These rollouts take some time. In fact, the worst thing that can happen is you just start one and then either the company disappears or the product disappears or the product is changed. And it's not uncommon to get to large scale for it to take 2 or 3 years to get to full scale rollout. First thing to say about stability is we're proud to say at RealWear that we have reached a certain level of financial stability in our company, having raised $80 million of financing back in July, bringing our total to $100 million. It means we're here to stay and that there's a certain amount of confidence you can get from the stability. More than that, we focus on products that are intended to last for 3-year cycles. Consumer products tend to last for 1 year, so you're just starting to get familiar with them and maybe start to get your rollout going, and boom, new product. The old one's not available anymore or not supported anymore. Not only will we bring out new products on a 3-year cycle, roughly, maybe a little more, we'll also support the existing products for a minimum of 2 years beyond the last date of sale. So these are important considerations when you're planning scale rollouts. Our HMT-1, our regular product, which some of you are familiar with, I think most of you, launched in October 2017, and our intrinsically safe version for oil and gas and chemicals and pharmaceuticals, that launched in June 2018. So you can confidently expect, we did a major software upgrade in March to Android 8.1. you can confidently expect to deploy these products through into 2021 with no issues on availability or support, and then 2 years beyond for support of things like security patches and other things that are critical to enterprise deployments. And I will also say that whatever comes beyond that, and there will be something new in that time frame, the software and solutions that work on these products today will continue to work on the future products, which means that the software investments that you make, the business process investments that you make, the integration investments you make are protected. They will continue to work. And as you look around for your choices, as you think about scale deployments for the long term, think about factors like these. Now let's move on to security. Now we're going to talk a lot about security today, and I'm going to save the real nitty-gritty for the early afternoon here. But let's first of all talk about Android 8.1, which we moved to in March on our device, primarily for its enhanced security and device management support. And that was a very important part of the movement to a level of operating system that enterprises feel they can trust. I'm going to talk more about this afternoon, but we make a strong commitment to security patches approximately every quarter to keep those products current and compliant with your IT department's requirements. About 6 months ago, we were proud to hire Dr. Patrick Neese as our Chief Information Security Officer, who subsequently also took on the role of Chief Engineer at RealWear. And Patrick has really helped us go to the next level in our security practice. A little bit about Patrick's background. He's not here today, unfortunately. But Patrick is a true security expert, and his signature role prior to RealWear was as Director of Red Team Operations at the National Security Agency of the United States government. So if you don't know what the Red Team is, the NSA has 2 teams focused on cybersecurity, the Red Team and the Blue Team. The Red Team tries to hack government and critical infrastructure, and the Blue Team tries to defend. And they do this at the same time, and then based on what they learn, they make recommendations on hardening the infrastructure. So Patrick led the Red Team for 3 years. Probably would be not an exaggeration to say that he was the United States government's chief hacker. And a lot of the things he did, he's not able to talk about. But he brings all of that experience to us at RealWear, and we're very lucky to have him. We will go into details this afternoon, but I'm proud to be able to say, and we'll cover this a couple of times, that we'll very shortly, by January of next year, be able to support Android Enterprise, Enterprise Mobility Management with leading providers like VMware/AirWatch, IBM, and SOTI, and I'll talk more about that in some detail later. Another key theme for security is, where do you store your data? We've discovered that most customers aren't that thrilled about RealWear storing your videos, your work procedures, your documents that you might want to use in our cloud. And so we've placed a strong emphasis of being able to move that data to the cloud you trust, whether that is from Microsoft or Amazon or Oracle or SAP. And one of the themes that you'll see going forward is the ability to get that data to the cloud where you trust it to be stored in a very secure manner. And we'll see, we'll hear a little bit about how that's working later on too. So a whole session this afternoon, more focused on security, that we'll cover there. Safety, stability, security. These are the foundational elements for scale. In fact, once you have these foundational elements, you can finally go fast. You can accelerate. I have a little analogy here. Imagine that after maybe many years of working hard in your career, you finally achieved your dream and you bought a Porsche 911 Turbo. Some of us have this dream, not all maybe. So you take delivery of your Porsche 911 Turbo and you hire the racetrack for the day, very keen to take it out and see what it can do. And you get to the track and you're excited to put your foot down and take it around the bends and see how fast it can accelerate and how fast it can go. And you probably have a big smile on your face because you know that in order for you to be able to have that acceleration experience, these guys did their work. They made a safe car. They made a stable car that had great traction control and brakes. And they made a highly secure car that is going to behave as expected and not do something strange because somebody hacked into it. You have to have safety, stability, and security before you can accelerate. Our platform for acceleration at RealWear is called Foresight. Foresight is our cloud system, and it is tightly integrated with our HMT devices at a software level. And it does a number of things. One of the things it does is it helps you manage the user's devices and groups. It is a form of device management, but it's complementary to the ones that we'll be talking about from our partners. It really streamlines the ability to deploy applications quickly. To take a small example, we recently deployed, with help from our partners UberMax, to 400 BMW and Mini dealerships all across the United States. So that involves sending 400 devices to 400 different locations, to 400 different people who are not IT people, and getting their application security, connectivity, all going in less than 2 months, which we did successfully and could not have been possible without zero-touch app provisioning from Foresight. And as we'll see in the section later today, where we talk about this in more detail, this is very complementary to the types of enterprise mobility management that your IT department might require. And again, we'll cover this more, but it can be an addition and a complement to other forms of device management, as well as being able to do basic device management on a standalone basis. Foresight lets us do a few other things. Because we can push applications to devices under enterprise control, RealWear can update its own application components. Not everything we have is OS level. Some of it is application level. So we're able to respond quickly to customer demands and enhance certain features. One of the things we've been able to do is improve the language translations of our voice-based voice control system. And we can now update those translations very easily and quickly from the cloud without having to reflash or upgrade the firmware on the whole device. We can improve the keyboard and text entry system. There's a number of things of this nature that we're able to cover quickly in response to market demands. We're able to use this platform to contextualize the data, make sure that it's got metadata associated with it so that we know where it comes from and where it's going. And that can be very valuable in the future for things like machine learning. And finally, we will be introducing, again, early next year, additional configuration, remote configuration capability, things such as the home screen and the list of icons and the features that you see in the controls, and get this set up as a kiosk mode or a lockdown mode or in any other fashion that you'd like it to do, again, very easily and streamlined. These are all important capabilities to go to scale, to achieve large rollouts.